on Sunday mornings at Calvary that we've been calling the voices in my head. And this last one, we talked about strength. And I think that this series of messages seems to have helped a lot of people. I know it's helped me, and we've got a few more left as we walk through this. The message for Father's Day, I feel really, really strongly about, not just for dads, but for everybody, and what God wants to speak to us through that. This last week when we talked about strength, there was a story that came to my mind as we talk about that idea of rest and health. If we're going to have strength, not just physically, but also especially spiritually in our lives. I've heard it told many times by one of my favorite authors and preachers, a guy named John Ortberg. John tells the story about how when he had gone to a new job that he was just starting, picking up a very busy pace, and he had a lot of things going on. It was a new place, new things. His kids were young at the time, and they were constantly all over the place with activities and events. It was a pretty full season in his life. And he called up a spiritual mentor and said to him, "How can I stay spiritually healthy in this season of my life?" And his friend said to him, "You must ruthlessly eliminate hurry from your life." And it's funny when you hear Ortberg tell the story, because he says, at that point, I wrote that down, and he said it was a long distance call, and I didn't have much time, and I was trying to get the most I could. And so he wrote it down. Ruthlessly eliminate hurry from your life. And he says, that's a good one. What else? Give me something else. And his mentor on the other end of the line said, there is nothing else. That's where it begins. You must ruthlessly eliminate hurry from your life. So many of you are listening to this, you're hearing this story, and you're looking at your watch at the same time going, I hope he doesn't talk too long. I don't have much time to watch this. I know that's what I do, because we get so hurried, we move so fast, and there's certain things we can't do about the pace of our society. There's certain things we can't do about the season of life that we're in, and whether it's because of your family commitments, your job commitments, there are times when we have a lot of demands. But there's something to be said about setting aside that hurriedness that we have in our spirits, learning how to rest in Jesus and saying, God, although I have a lot that I have to do, I also want to walk in step with you. I find that when I'm hurrying, I'm relying on my own strength, but I can move through a hectic pace with God's strength when I look to and trust in Him. So let me encourage you with the same words that Dallas Willard, John Ortberg's mentor, gave to him. Let's work hard to ruthlessly eliminate that hurry from our lives as we look and trust in Jesus for our strength and for our rest. We've had a lot of topics we've talked about in this series, from anger and fear to how we think and how we process things in our lives. As we continue to go through this series, we're going to talk a little bit more about some things like anxiety and depression, and talk about our identity and who we are and who God has created us to be. But on this Thursday night, we're going to do something very unique that we did a couple of weeks ago. A few of our pastors will be together, and we're going to do a question and answer time online Thursday night, 7 o'clock. We'll take about an hour, and we want to answer some of your questions, in particular about this series of messages that we've had about our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings, biblical responses to things in our lives. And so I would encourage you, if you have a question you'd like for us to consider, there's a number on the screen. Why don't you text it to that number, or you can log in and join us on Thursday night, 7 o'clock, here, Facebook Live, and you can jump online and you can join us. We would love to have you be a part of this live question and answer time, and look forward to answering some of those things. Thanks for taking these moments to watch this. I hope these second thoughts from Sunday have been encouragement to you. Have a great week. God bless.